Hey, Podnutsians. Welcome to the Revolving Door. I'm going to do a live recording session of episodes 109 through 121. Um, I typically don't re-record the intro, though I am going to go back, if you're a listener, go back to the original intro where it's just hi. Welcome to the Revolving Door. Bite-sized reviews of all the content I listen to is basically it. The average amount of content I listen to is hell of a lot is the way I'll put it. I do believe that the podcast addict day starts on Sunday. Uh, the week starts on Sunday, which is today, which reminds me, I got to take the trash out. Like for instance, yesterday, I listened, no, say the day starts today, Sunday morning, because it says today I listened to 17 hours and 23 minutes. This week, 17 hours, 23 minutes. Okay. So last week, I listened to 8 days and 2 hours worth of content, 348 episodes. Um, I don't know if that type of stuff is valuable to the listener. Um, I do think it's smart once in a while just to remind them, yes, I actually do listen to all these podcasts. But I think saying the number is, I don't know, it just seems a bit much. Seems like it could be a bit much. Okay. And I constantly take breaks during this just to make sure, and I split the audio up just so it's easier to edit. Should be easy. All the ones I'm actually going to review should already be in the YouTube um, description. Let me fix this. Fix, center. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Actually, I can do this. It's just me. And I can say center. There you go. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Okay, we're going to definitely not take this fast, is my logic. Okay. I'm also say start local recording here, just for giggles, just in case something goes boom. Okay. First, hitting record, episode 109, I believe. Next up, we have Techmeme Ride Home from Ride Home Media. This literally comes out daily, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. I do think a couple times it actually did come out 7 days a week. Currently 689 episodes, around 19 minutes long. So this has been going on for at least a little bit of time. Currently, Podcast Addict says 4,400 subscribers. I'm pretty sure he has at least some more than that. The description is short and sweet, kind of like the stop. Delete that. Okay. Kind of like the show's intended to be. And the description says the day's tech news every day at 5 p.m. from techmeme.com, Silicon Valley's most read news source, 15 minutes, and you're up to date. Most shows I think are slightly longer than 15 minutes. Um, he basically is reviewing another company's daily batch of information, which I find this to be a very interesting way to do it. Um, I really don't like any of his ads. It seems incredibly disingenuous, I'll say. But the good thing is, it's very easy to tell if he's doing an ad or not because there's background music whenever he's doing an ad. So if you skip ahead 15, 30 seconds or 1 minute and you still hear background music, you can instantly skip again. Now, really quick on all of my podcasting stuff, what I do is I tip transform. Oh man, good catch, Charles. I'm really happy you were here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to basically overwrite that last one. Okay. I'll tell you what, this Chromium browser on the Raspberry Pi, the page constantly crashes. Every couple minutes, the page crashes, which is not cool. Okay, so we're going to redo that one, and we're going to say, hit record over here. Next, we have Techmeme Ride Home from Ride Home Media. 689 episodes, around 19 minutes long, comes out daily, 4,400 subscribers. I'm pretty confident he has more subscribers than that, is what I'll say. The description of the show is just like the show, short and sweet. It goes, the day's tech news every day at 5 p.m. from techmeme.com, Silicon Valley's most read news source, 15 minutes, and you're up to date. Okay, most episodes are not 15 minutes. Now, if you take out all the ads, it might be around 15 minutes, which will make me then follow up and saying, I basically skip all the ads. The best thing is when there's an ad, there's background music. So you'll know if you skip forward, if you're still in an ad or not, just by the background music. Quick pro gamer tip. I have my fast forward skip time twice as long as my reverse time. So if I skip ahead 30 seconds and I went too far, I go back 15 seconds. I'm not back to where I was before, just halfway back. I think that's a really nice way to do it. I'll say, typically 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. And I don't think he does the 6 days a week thing for like more episodes, for more ad revenue. I think he does sometimes 6 days a week because he genuinely likes doing it. Most episodes that I look at are around 23, 18 minutes long, somewhere around there. Some of the weekend episodes are a bit longer, either because they're interview based or because he does a collaborative Zoom based kind of calls. If you want to be, in air quotes, up to date, you need to check out Techmeme Ride Home from Ride Home Media. Hit stop. Okay. Very good catch, Charles. File export OG overwriting now 109. Yes. Yes. And the best thing about short podcast is, oh my goodness, editing is so easy. So easy. Unbelievably easy. Okay. Bryce Whitty. He was a really nice guy. I met him in, I want to say, Chicago. I went to a CompTIA conference, and he was there, like, literally, like, complete red eye from Australia trip. And you couldn't tell. He was very, like, aware and talkative and cognizant kind of thing. But that's a big trip. But I did find out he takes a lot of trips. That's his job, basically, moving and shaking. It's the way that I would describe it, at least. Okay. So I'm going to define MSP, which stands for Managed Service Provider. I had to think about that for a second. Just a little. Okay. Come back over here. Oh, it's a general. Man, I could have swore my eyes are so bad. I saw the reddish, whitest icon and a shorter name, and so I thought it was SCJ. I gotta like cross this one eye a little bit. I can focus in, and I see, oh, W4XXX General. How you doing, man? I'm gonna purposely let's zoom this page in. Control and plus. Hey, there you go. Much better. Now I can see it without refocusing my eyes. Okay. Yeah, Techmeme Ride Home. I think it's a really good podcast, fun podcast. Okay, now let's go over here. Let's hit record and say, next up, we have Technibble MSP Podcast by Bryce Whitty. MSP stands for Managed Service Provider. What that is, it's a computer company where all they do is help take care of other computers. So they help manage small, medium, and even enterprise ecosystems, making sure computers are patched, up to date, security scans are ran, all kinds of things. Managed service provider typically means you're getting monthly payments from the customer for agreeing to do a certain amount of work every month. It's the only way a lot of computer shops can guarantee income, like for loan's sake, is what I'll say. So that was a long description, but if you already know what an MSP is, you knew that already. This podcast in Podcast Addict says 73 episodes, 5 minutes long, monthly, which I'll say is very generous. It comes out completely random whenever Bryce has the time. Bryce is an incredibly busy guy who does run his own successful computer company now for easily a decade. Okay. 695 subscribers, which I'm kind of shocked. It's that little, but I will say, when you listen to this, there's absolutely no production value on this. He literally just hits record, talks, and then stops. There's no intro music even. There's no outro. There's no nothing. There's no ads. It's just Bryce spewing his knowledge about how to be successful in computer repair business. And I will tell you, if you want to be successful, this is the kind of guy you need to follow. It doesn't come out monthly. It comes out whenever he can get to doing a show. Again, a very short description. It says, join Bruce with the Technibble MSP Podcast, where we provide quick tips to get quick wins in your MSP business. Now, Technibble is mentioned there. If you've never heard of Technibble, then you haven't done a lot of searching for this kind of topics, because Technibble was, I know, one of the most important websites out there for computer repair. It's still really important. Bleeping Computer now, I will say, gets a lot of my traffic, but Technibble is a valuable resource, utterly valuable resource. So if you want to start your own computer repair business, or you know somebody that just started up their own, you owe it to yourself and to your friend and to Bryce to forward them to Technibble MSP Podcast by Bryce Whitty. Stop. Export. Tempted to stop and do some exercise in here. 110. Halfway done. Because then I got to do the other half, the back end of the post-production. Okay, next. Oh, man, this is a classic one here. 2,000 episodes. Oof. Every few days, yeah. I'll say that's about right. 43 minutes long, yep. About like 10 minutes of ads on each show. I tell you what, Pfizer, you're a pain in the butt. I got to get screen copy, SCR, CPY working next time. This is really annoying. Okay. I do love TechStuff, though. Does it tell me the host? Jonathan Strickland. There you go. Okay. Now we have what I consider to be a classic podcast called TechStuff, all one word. It's currently on iHeartRadio. I do believe this podcast has been bought and sold a couple times on different hosting media. Right now in Podcast Addict, it says 2,215 episodes, around 43 minutes long, comes out every few days. I want to say it's like every 3 to maybe 4 days it comes out. Podcast Addict says 21,700 subscribers. The description goes like this. TechStuff is a show about technology, and it's not just how technology works. Join host Jonathan Strickland as he explores the people behind the tech, the companies that market it, and how technology affects our lives and culture. I'll tell you right now, it is super difficult to summarize what this show is, because A, there's so many episodes, but B, the range of topics is anything that anybody could consider technology. Okay. Now, I said in a previous show, there's 2 reasons you listen to a podcast. The reason you tell other people, and then the reason you really do listen to it. I'll tell you this right now. I know a lot about Jonathan Strickland. I know he walks to work every day. I know he's petrified of driving. I know he's completely bald. I know a lot about the man from listening to the show, because once in a while, he'll let parts of himself come out. And he, again, seems like an incredibly nice guy. Once in a while, he'll have a co-host on that will come on board, but seemingly the co-host never seems to last because they move on to bigger, better, greener pastures. I will say I do know that I skip a fair amount of this show because of the ads. In Podcast Addict, I skipped the first 55 seconds, almost a minute of every show, and I skipped the last 2 minutes, 120 seconds of every show because of the ads. Once in a while, it might cut off a touch more than it should, but to be quite honest, I'd rather cut out more than less, because anybody knows the very beginning or very ending of the person talking is nowhere close to as important as what's in the middle of the show. If you at all have any passion or any interest, especially in the history of tech and the future tech, you really do need to listen to Jonathan Strickland, who, again, unbelievably seems like a nice guy. And all one word, TechStuff, TechStuff. Wow, 2 minutes and a half. I don't like when I go that long. I know. That's what she said last night. 11, export, close. Okay. Oh, this is the newer one. Yeah. Okay. This one is I'm gonna have to tread lightly on this one. Well, speak for yourself there, General. I'm not good at a lot of things, like, riding a pedal bicycle or having tact in work, but there are things I'm okay at. Okay. I gotta walk the line on this one. Oh, yeah. Will this help me? Oh, no, I'm not gonna do it on this one. I'm going to start to introduce into the show a touch of background. One of the sayings I heard when I was younger, if you already know where it came from, then you know, but if you don't, go find it yourself. Yeah, if you don't know the history of the author, you don't know what you read. There's a good website out there. I'd say it's good, but I just injected my own bias into it. Sorry. It's called Media Fact Check Media Bias Fact Check. I sent this out to easily 100, 200 people in typical fashion. Like, I had 4 people reply, and I asked them, look, put in websites you like and you don't like, and then look at the examples that you get back, and then you tell me if you think it's accurate or not. And like 6 people replied. All of them said it seems very fair and accurate. Because, like, the one guy said he was a fan of CNN. He looked at the description. He said, "Yeah, that's spot on." Two people were extreme fans of Fox News. They read the description. Oh yeah, seems pretty accurate. Um, so when I encounter a website that has extreme bias, I'm tempted to say, and Media Bias Fact Check says it's blah 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 blah. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hit record. Now we have the Anthropocene. Oh man, this is going to be a good one. Now we have the Anthropocene. Oh nope, I'm gonna cheat. Sorry, got to do it. I love the Goog for this one. I found a new feature in Google. If you type in pronounce, and the example I'll use is, yeah. I don't know if this link's going to work in the live stream or not, but that's what I have. What's wrong with my neck? Spawn losis. And then you can click, you can hear it, but then there's a little practice button where it will listen to you and tell you what you did it wrong. So let's say spawn, done, spondo, spondolosis. Spondolosis. And see, I didn't have enough of the sound, which I think is a fascinating feature. I love that feature. So I'm going to now type in Anthropocene. Let's see if it gives me the practice button. It does. Good. Anthropocene. Anthropocene. Okay, so it's telling me more of a fro. Anthropocene. 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 Damn, we're off. Screw it. I'm just going with it. We're doing it live. Now we have the Anthropocene Review from WNYC Studios and Complexity. I will say I have a complete bias. I'm a huge fan of Complexity. They make some very good educational YouTube videos. I have very mixed feelings about WNCY Studio, but this I consider to be one of the more entertaining podcasts. It says 30 episodes, 21 minutes long, monthly, 26,500 subscribers. To be frank, I'm kind of shocked there's only 30 episodes. The description is quite long. The Anthropocene is the current geological age. That's why they give definitions. If you don't know what the Anthropocene is, it's the geologic age that some scientists say we're in now. Back to the description. The Anthropocene is the current geologic age in which human activity has profoundly shaped the planet and its biodiversity. On the Anthropocene Review, #1 New York Times best-selling author John Green, The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the Way Down, had to get that in there, didn't they? Reviews different facets of the human-centered planet on a 5-star scale. WNCY Studio is a listener-supported, blah, 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 blah. Okay. One of the most funniest things about this show is on a different podcast, he said his goal was to do this show and never give anything a 5-star rating. Like episode number 4, he gives something a 5-star rating because, he does. Because he just does. I find this to be a fun insight into what this guy thinks. And if you don't know who this guy is, yes, he's a best-selling author, but I'll say in the internet realm, he's a little bit more important as being one of the Vlog brothers. Him and his brother, Hank and John Green, years ago started. They had no way of communicating. They didn't do phone calls. So what they would do is like once a week, they would leave each other a video blog message and everyone could see their communications back and forth. When they were young, they didn't talk a lot. So this was a chance for them to like catch up. Which I say they have a good back and forth is what I'll say. Each episode is around 20 to 25 minutes long. He reviews typically a couple things like the game Monopoly and academic decathlon. Alrighty. All kinds of stuff is what I'm going to say. Seemingly, in my opinion, completely random stuff is what he reviews. It's a fun, in some ways, lighthearted podcast. If you're a fan of John Green or the Green Brothers, you should check out the Anthropocene Review. Again, a bit long. OGG 112. 112 double D, dude. And yeah, shoulder's starting to hurt a little bit. Next. Oh, this one. I love this one. This one's super fun. And yeah, that practice mode. And look, for someone with a speech impediment, a speech disfluency, whatever you want to call it, to be able to practice my mouth movements into a machine and not somebody telling me you're saying that wrong. It's very, I literally, as soon as I found that and I did that, I literally clicked the feedback button and I sent Google feedback thanking them for it. Okay. Do they have the tagline? Let me see that tagline. Don't say. They end every episode with something like and our news is history or something like that. Like, trying to do like a pun on the words. I can't remember what it says. I'm not going to listen to find out. Okay. Hitting record. Now we have oh wait, I forgot. I wanted to say something. Okay. And sorry, we're going to have a lot of podcasts that begin with the word the because I didn't filter them out and rearrange. This one is called the Archaeologically. Archaeology. This is the Archaeology channel, audio news from archaeologists. Archaeology Legacy Institute is the full name and the publisher. Okay. 133 episodes, 12 minutes long, weekly, To me, this is almost the perfect size podcast to pay attention, digest, and understand. Currently 5,500 subscribers. The description goes the Archaeology News of the Week in audio, brought to you by the Archaeology channel, compiled and written by Michelle. Basically, this to me is a perfect example of half-life of knowledge. Knowledge is constantly changing and evolving, even about stuff hundreds and thousands of years ago. This short podcast just tells you things that were discovered that redefines how we look at things in the past, whether it be new fossils found, whether it be about new sites found when we can dig up old towns, all kinds of, in my opinion, completely fascinating topic. And I love the fact at the end of the episode, I believe they say something like, and our news is history, something like that. Try to make a little pun. If you are at all fascinated by new discoveries that have been laying dormant underground for hundreds or thousands of years, you need to check out the Archaeology channel, audio news from Archaeologist. And it says Archaeologica, whatever. A little bit of both. Yeah, being in constant pain doesn't help. Oh. Next up, I believe. Oh, this one. I love this one. This is a fun one. With, again, two nice guys. Hopefully they say their names. Nope. I know it's Simon Whistler. Whistler. Oh, there it is. And Simon Whistler and Davin Hiskey. Davin Hiskey. I am so bad at names. Jesus. Davin Hiskey. I'm sticking with Davin Hiskey. I don't know. Okay. Hitting record, badang. Up next, we have the BrainFood Show from Simon Whistler and Davin Hiskey. Okay. These two guys, I'll say, have been a pretty popular YouTube channel. I want to say they have a couple shows. One of them is Today I Found Out. The other one was Top Tens, and there's a couple that I believe they do together. To me, they're all great short snippets of information. This is not short snippets of information. Okay. Currently 67 episodes, around an hour long, weekly, 4,400 subscribers. And the description says, the team at the wildly popular Today I Found Out on YouTube channel discuss a variety of fascinating topics to help you feed your brain. This, to me, the best way to describe this is deep dives into things that they deem interesting. And it could be really almost anything from like, I'm trying to remember some of the things they went into. Like It's a Wonderful Life. Went into the actual details of the movie, the making, the actors, the staff, and then all of the things that happened after it was published, like how it was such a ridiculous bomb. People were embarrassed by it when it came out. It was so poorly received. And to be honest, great back and forth between these guys. Simon Whistler, I got to be careful how I say that name, or I'm gonna have to DS this track. Unbelievably, I'll say, nice guy. I like listening to nice people, if you haven't noticed by now. The BrainFood Show, I think they take great deep dives. I think you should check them out. 1:14. I need to run upstairs and get some meds. And by meds, I mean, ibuprofen and Motrin. No, that's the same thing. Ibuprofen and acetaminophen. There you go. This is a podcast. This podcast, I'm gonna have to fight to keep this under 2.5 minutes. Okay. And here's why. Every day I come downstairs, whether it's to do a show or just to do laundry or whatever, This is what I'm greeted with every time I come down here. It is a actual Life magazine in its entirety from January 1970 with Johnny Carson on the cover. When I was a kid, I believe this was the classiest man that ever existed, but one of the nicest guys in entertainment. And his best trait was he knew when to shut up and just let other people talk and to how to bring out the best in other people. Every time I come downstairs, that's what So yeah, I'm a huge Carson nut. Huge, huge. Now I actually have two Carson podcasts. I'm going to go over this one first. Okay. And up next, this podcast hits me in the nostalgia with a capital N. In fact, the entire word is capitalized. It's called The Carson Podcast from Mark Malkoff. Delete. It's called The Carson Podcast from Mark Malkoff. 288 episodes, 66 minutes long, comes out about weekly. Once in a while, he'll take a short break, but it's basically a weekly show. 2,500 subscribers, which I really, really, really hope it's more people than that. The description says host Mark Malkoff talks with guest about legendary talk show host Johnny Carson. Guests include stand-up comics who debuted on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, individuals that worked on the show, frequent guests, top entertainers that were influenced by Carson. The long and the short of it is, we will never have anybody as famous as Johnny Carson in America, because when he was on television, there was only 3 or 4 channels. He would sometimes pull 20 to 30 million houses tuning into his show, which, I mean, Super Bowls don't really get that these days, kind of thing. And I'll say if you wanted to become popular, you had to be on the Tonight Show. If you wanted to be successful, you had to be on the Tonight Show. Many, many careers were made on the Tonight Show. One of my favorite Tonight Show episodes was when he basically live debunked Uri Geller as being a complete huckster and fraud in the nicest way anybody ever could. I just found out today there's a special called Johnny Goes Home that was broadcast back in the 80s, where he went back to his hometown and talked to people. And yes, now I'm gonna have to find that and watch that, because I believe Johnny Carson was and still is the classiest man to ever appear on television. If you at all are interested in how late night talk show originated and the master of how it became successful, this is one of the podcasts you should check out, called The Carson Podcast from Mark Malkoff. Yeah, one of the things I found out about Johnny way after the fact was, besides how rich he was when he died, where he was ridiculously rich, as soon as he died, he instantaneously gave something like $300 million to institutions, I'll say, that were devoted in science-based learning, science-based education, and people to promote atheism and science-based logic, which just made me feel even better about Johnny Carson between us. Hey, Charles. Hope everything's going good, man. And I know just saying these couple things trigger a fair amount of our population. Especially ones that kind of believe COVID's like a pandemic or something. Okay. Oh, this is actually an interesting one, but I gotta stop and think. Is this the one where the intro ads are really bad? I mean, they lie. They basically lie from the first ads. Just as soon as they start, it's just bam. Hi, we lie. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, these ads are horrible. Okay. So what I do believe then is that I do skip a fair amount of the content. Let's see. I skipped the first 115 seconds and the last 30 seconds. Okay. And that's fair. We all do something. Okay. Bada bing, bada bing. Now we have the Chromecast. Three separate words. The Chromecast from Chrome Unbox, which is a very I need to slow down and have more gaps. Chrome Unbox, which is a pretty popular website. And I'll say I really do enjoy the podcast, except for the ads. 69 episodes, 77 minutes long, comes out about twice a month. I thought it was more frequent than that, but Podcast Addict says that, and only 373 subscribers, which I'm genuinely shocked at. The description says, as Chrome Unbox continues to expand, we want to offer updates and news in a variety of categories, including articles, videos, and audio. Podcasts are a great way to take in a lot of info in a simple, streamlined. What the hell? That's a really bad description. Anything regarding Chrome OS, Chrome boxes, Chrome books, Chrome tablets, Chrome anything related, tangentially related, whether it's new hardware that's in the development mode that shows up in the open source stream of stuff, whether it's anything at all regarding that, these guys go into an insane deep dive and they get their hands on a lot of hardware. Like the newer Lenovo Duet tablet, they said if it was like $80 to $100 more, it would just be an okay device. But because it is priced so reasonably, it is a fantastic device for the price. And I don't doubt them when they say things like that. If you're at all interested in Chrome bits, Chrome boxes, Chrome books, Chrome OS, anything of that nature, then you really should check out the Chromecast from Chrome Unboxed. It's a horrible description. Horrible. I think they hired a crappy PR company to write it. If people are subscribing to your podcast, you don't need to explain what a podcast is. You know, it's kind of like giving a how-to on a bottle of shampoo. You don't know how to wash your hair. We have bigger problems. Hey, Red. Good to see you, man. I did see your Voxer message. Didn't get a chance to open it up yet. I'll just let you know, guys know on my Android device, that little key right there. I've decided to pay Mozilla $5 a month for their VPN for the last week plus. Everything on my phone is going through Sweden because I trust the Swedish government more than I trust my own government, to be honest, between us. And I'm shocked at literally half the things I do are faster than if I use Wi-Fi in my house with no VPN. Half the things are about the same speed, but virtually nothing is slower. The downside is once in a while, I'll click a link and it will give me a price in, I believe, Swedish kroners. Doesn't help me at all. And once in a while, I go to a website and it says, this content is not available in your region. Between me and you, General, PIA is still, I believe, the most trustworthy VPN that's existed. Period. Like they are the ones. But I've never paid them money. Because I mean, I still don't feel like I need a VPN, to be honest. I don't. But I've always been looking for ways to give Mozilla money. I already give them at least $25 a year is what I'm going to say in just giving them money. But I don't enough people are giving PIA money that they were so successful that they were bought by another company who I still think they're doing a good job. I just haven't given them money. I don't know why. I don't have a good reason why, is what I'll say. But I don't think I need a VPN. And this is another guy I met in Podcast Multimedia Expo. Podcast Media Expo. I can't remember what it's called now. Well, and I did want to. There was another thing they launched, Firefox Send, maybe, where there was a paid tier, and I didn't get a chance to jump on that. And they took the tier, they took the system down, and I believe it's still down. They found some security exploit, and they don't want anybody to use it until it's fixed. I'm now old, and I'm okay with giving some people money. Some people deserve money, um, because if I'm not giving them money, I have no right to complain. It's kind of like when people say if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. In some manner, they're right. In some manner, they're not. But I know if I do give Mozilla money and then I actively complain to them with the same email address I used to pay them, hopefully they'll notice that. You know what I mean? My wife gets really mad at me because my shoulder and neck hurt. I make stupid faces when it hurts. But you'll have that. Okay. Now we have the Computer Tutor from Scott Johnson. I will come and out and say I did meet Scott Johnson in a podcast multimedia expo, I believe it was in Orlando, Florida. He's been a long time Podnutz supporter, and I'll say one of the nicest guys I met. When I met him down there in Orlando, we just sat and we just BS'd like a good 40 minutes nonstop. Really, really good guy. And I hope he says this in the description. He has an uncanny ability to take complex things and say them in a very easy to understand way. Okay. Currently 352 episodes, 10 minutes long, very short episodes, weekly, 1,400 subscribers. And the description says computer repair, personal computer instructions in a safe harbor, Clearwater, Tampa, Florida, St. Pete. Okay. He didn't say it. What he says in the beginning of every episode is basically computer help without all the tech talk. And what he really means to say is digestible content that any computer user at any level can understand. Yes, it might be something you already know as being a tech person, but I can tell you right now, if you repeat the things that he says to people who don't know as much as you, it will come across much clearer to that person. And so I cannot encourage people more. Check out The Computer Tutor from Scott Johnson. Great stuff. File export. Indeed, Randolph. Indeed, Mortimer. Actually, I already did this one, the COVID tonic. 4 subscribers. 4 friggin' subscribers. I want to have hope for the future of humanity. 4 subscribers. That is so. Oh God, so drives me nuts. Okay, this one's going to be slightly harder to understand. Jesus, look at this description. My goodness. Wish me luck, folks. I'm going to need it. To wait for that to reload. Okay, here we go. Now we have the Create Unknown from Unknown Media. 55 episodes, around 75 minutes long each. Comes out about weekly. Podcast Addict says 191 subscribers, which I will say is shocking because they have a couple thousand people in their Discord. The description goes, there's a new dream job out there and it's creator. The allure of flexing your creative muscles in the limelight for a living is enticing young and old to jump on YouTube and start recording, but a lot can happen on the way to millions of subscribers. In the Create Unknown, co-hosts Kevin Lieber and Matt Tabor take time off of getting take time off from getting millions. Okay. Whew, man. Here we go. from getting millions of views on the educational YouTube channel Vsauce2, part of the Vsauce network, to reveal how dozens of dynamic creators have successfully navigated the ever-changing, uncertain landscape of online media, and how others have been swallowed by the digital quicksand. There's more of a description, but they did nail it right there. Okay. This show basically is two people who have been successful with creating online content, and they sit down with other people who either have experienced turmoil, experienced follies, or have been really successful, and they ask, how did you do it? How did you navigate those dangerous waters, kind of thing? And I will say, I am again extremely biased. Vsauce, Vsauce 2, and Vsauce 3 are, in my humble opinion, some of the best content that has ever been created on YouTube, because it's content that not only entertains, but it educates. The term for that is edutainment, which isn't a real word, but it is to me. And if it is to you, then you need to check out the Create Unknown. I love Michael Stevens, Kevin two, no, Matt Tabor, and I can never remember the third guy who had bad cancer, but he survived. At least so far, he survived. Really, 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 really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. I miss Rice. Oh, this one is so polarized. The word is polarized. Every morning we profile the people, places, and trends and technology that are ahead of their time and worthy of yours. Spoken edition transport. Maybe this isn't the one I think it is. Actually, I don't think it is, because it's the black one. European youth bet on authorization states to fix climate change. Microaggressions. Yeah, this is life hacking the way you're through joy of junkyards. Which military has the edge in AI? Want to buy and make your own bed? Scientists who drank sour milk to save lives. Yeah, this is bias. This is quite bias. Ozzy. So almost just for giggles, I almost want to OZY. Going to look for Aussie. And I thought it was going to be, when I literally subscribed to this, I swore it was going to be just content from Australia. Seriously, that's what I thought. And you might want to go to this website. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to my old faithful media bias fact check. And let's see what they say. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in here. I'm tempted literally to add this content to the show and I review something. Okay. Sources pending. The following sources are pending review. Some sources might not be added based on a variety of factors. Click the links below to see, which I don't see. Right bias. Wow. The media sources are moderately strong bias towards conservative causes through story, section, and or political affiliation. Okay. Sources pending review. The following sources are pending reviews, with some sources might not be based on a variety of factors. Okay, it's the same thing. The following list of sources either have not updated in more than 1 year, so they're referencing things that are out of date. Wow. Bleeping Computer says least bias. These sources have a minimal bias. Yeah, so a lot of people, wow, man, say this is really bad. They say, I can't believe they say right biased. Left bias. Wow, they have 52 pages worth of bias. This is almost as bad as the other one. Left center bias. These media sources have a slight to moderate liberal bias. Okay. I was going to say that they're biased. Okay. All right. Now we have the Daily Dose from Ozzy, OZY. Currently, Podcast Addict says 413 episodes, around 5 minutes long, very short episodes. Comes out daily. I think it's 5 days a week. 173 subscribers. I will say this is brought to you from Spoken Edition. Spoken Edition takes text-based like news articles, blog articles, opinion pieces, and puts them into audio with real humans saying it. Okay. The description says every morning we profile the people, places, trends, and technologies that are ahead of their time and worthy of yours. A spoken edition transforms written content into human read audio. You can listen, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Everybody has a bias, whether we admit it or not. So does every website. And if you listen to enough of these shows, I think you will find that they have a bias too. With that stated, I still like when they actually introduce me to new companies, new industries, new technologies, new innovations that I've not heard of, because the only constant is innovation will never stop. And I like everybody who covers it, even if they have their own perspective of reality. I do think people should check this out just because it's so short. It won't take a lot of time. It's The Daily Dose from OZY. 119, which means I'm actually rounding third, if I count right, which you can never be too sure of. Wow, man, I think I'm going to have to go upstairs and get some ibuprofen and acetaminophen, which I can't pronounce that either. The wife keeps correcting me every time I say it. Okay. This one I just added, so we're not going to review that one. This one, man, this one has a bias too. Oh man, I know, no doubt this one has a bias. The fifth column. Do they even have a website? Don't know. Okay, so let's see. I don't think this is the right one. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if I can find their website. If I can, I know what Media Bias Fact Check is already going to say. Okay, yeah. So I thought it's called wethefifth.com. And if anybody has any idea what the hell the fifth column even means, let me know, because I have no idea. I think it means something. I think there's some innuendo there that I just don't get because I'm stupid. Okay. Sources pending, right bias, offline sites, questionable source, right bias, questionable source, least biased. Leaving computer says least biased. Left center, questionable source, right bias. Yeah, this is like I tried to explain to the wife. Everybody I talk to who is a staunch Republican swears I'm a Democrat. Every extreme Democrat swears I'm a Republican. And I try to make them both understand, no. Hi, I'm Steve McLaughlin. I'm me. So for different websites to give contradictory information saying that, no, they're right, and then somebody else saying, no, they're left, tells me that they're closer to the middle than either side wants to admit. I don't know. Oh, no, Red, that's the dirty secret. You can go ahead and Google it. Never believe me. Lateral search. In the EU, which is extremely more conservative when it comes to medicine than the US, doctors only prescribe acetaminophen plus ibuprofen because there's been multiple studies that show, like hypothetically, you get 2 units of pain relief for acetaminophen, and you get 2 units of the same for ibuprofen. When you take them together, you can get up to 10 units of pain relief, and they don't understand why. Most people only get, instead of the combined 4, most people get at least 6 to 8 times the pain relief. And I can tell you right now, taking the acetaminophen, and I think the ibuprofen is 800 milligrams. I think the acetaminophen is 500 milligrams at the same time. I feel basically no pain for 4 to 6 hours, is what I'll say. Because they told me I could take it every 6 hours, and I like clockwork with 5 hours and a half go by. Oh yeah, pain starts. Oh yeah, pain starts. Oh yeah, pain starts. The wife didn't believe me, so I literally showed her studies that showing no, take them together because everyone in America thinks you should not take them together. And I showed her all the studies saying yes, take them together. And my orthopedic surgeon said, because he said, "What are you doing?" And I was afraid to tell him that's what I was doing because Tracy Holtz told me to do it. But I was afraid to tell him, so I lied to him. I told him I wake up, I take my um uh anti-inflammatory, and then 2 hours later I take Tylenol. 2 hours later I take ibuprofen. 2 hours later I take aspirin. 2 hours later I take naproxen, and then 2 hours later I go back and start the whole thing over again. And he said, "No, what? No, no, no. Just take ibuprofen and acetaminophen." And I said, "At the same time?" He said, "You have to take it at the same time." I thought, "Oh, because I was thought you couldn't take it at the same time." He said, "Yeah, we used to think that, but now we believe it's actually better." Then I went and I looked, and there's a lot of research saying yes, take it at the same time. Okay, these names don't have to practice. Michael Monahan from Vice. Okay, yeah, good, 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 good. Matt Welch from Reason and Camille Foster. I only know that because he says his name from Free Think. Okay, okay. This one's going to be hard, I think, to keep under 3 minutes, but here we go. Next up, we have the fifth column analysis, commentary, seduction from Michael Monahan from Vice Media, Matt Welch from Reason TV, and Camille Foster from Free Think. 204 episodes, around 96 minutes long, weekly, 9,900 subscribers. I will say this podcast has no ads in it because no sponsor would dare have ads on this show. I will say that out loud. The description says from their enclave in Midtown Manhattan, which one of them, once the COVID happened, immediately ran from Midtown Manhattan, and now he's in Florida. No, Virginia. Hold on. Come here, Danny. Danny, it's painfully obvious I'm doing something. So you're going to bed? Yeah. Okay. Can you do me a favor, please? Oxy and tea. Okay. The size of that thing. Jeez, don't let mom see it. Yeah, exactly. No, you shouldn't pick at it. Oxy it and please brush your teeth right, okay? Oh, well, if you can't take ibuprofen, then don't take ibuprofen. Aspirin works, I will say. And yes, aspirin does indeed thin your blood, which is why if a professional wrestler, no secrets being given out here, knows he's going to bleed during a match, he'll literally take like 10 to 20 aspirin before the match because the blood just flows everywhere. Okay, now let's try this again. I love my kids. I love my kids. The fifth column, analysis, commentary, seduction. That's not seduction. Is it? Man, I'm such an idiot. My reading is so piss poor. S-E-D. Sedition, I believe it is. Sedition. What the hell is sedition? On my honeymoon, the wife asked me to look at the menu and asked me what I wanted to order. And I said, "Well, how about some hors d'oeuvres?" And she was so upset at me. Oh, I've never seen the word hors d'oeuvres spelled out before. I'm an idiot. Sedition. Okay, so what the hell is sedition? Sedition. Conduct or speak, inciting people to rebel against authority on a state of monarchy. This is good. 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 Okay, this is good. Yep. Okay. Take it easy, man. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Next, we have the fifth column, analysis, commentary, and sedition. Okay, yeah. Sedition. Right. Up next, we have the fifth column, analysis, commentary, and sedition. Quick definition. Sedition means to conduct or speak, inciting people to rebel against authority of a state of monarch. So you should already know where this podcast is going. This podcast is brought to you by Michael Monahan from Vice Media, Matt Welch from Reason TV, and Kamel Falser from Freethink. Currently, Podcast Addicts is 204 episodes, around 96 minutes long, comes out about weekly, 9,900 subscribers. There is absolutely no ads on this show because nobody in their right mind would sponsor this show except maybe, Podnutz. They are heavily driven by doing their 9 to 5 jobs. This is literally something they do on their side, and they do have a Patreon, which they do push once in a while. Not too hard is what I'll say. The description says, from their enclaves in Midtown Manhattan, Michael Monahan from Vice, Matt Welch from Reason, and Kamel Falser from Freethink dissect the news, interrogate guests, and question just about everything. The topics are broad, the insights are deep, and the jokes are off color. Reform the system or burn it to the ground, they discuss. We the Fifth is their website, www.wethefifth.com. Okay, now, these guys hold nothing back. And I will tell you, I am a fan of Reason Media, which I had no idea. Reason TV exists because of Drew Carey. Drew Carey donated money to get all that kind of stuff started. Vice, I don't know if I like or don't like. No, think. Freethink, I've never heard of. I will say, most of the time when these guys open their mouth, I agree with their opinions, stance. I might not agree with their methods. They are, I don't want to say they're anti-government because they're not, but they don't trust government is the basic of it. And they have no problem having people on the show that directly contradict their thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and they hold very informative, very sophisticated, and very nice conversations with people that don't agree with them or agree with them. It's definitely a slightly longer show, but in my humble opinion, it is absolutely worth your time just to let you see other people's viewpoints if you don't agree with them. It's called the fifth column, a analysis, commentary, and sedition. Yeah, I tried to get a couple people to listen to this show, and everybody was like, I don't know, like they didn't like them. But I'm a fan of Reason. And again, that's something else I donate to every year. I donate at least $25 to Reason because I like stuff gets overturned. So that was the last one. Yes, that was the last one. Okay. Yeah, Whores Divorce. She was so upset at me, and excuse me, said we can order some Whores Divorce. And she was like, I cannot believe I married you. This was literally on our honeymoon, mind you. Ugh. She was so disappointed. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to disappoint you plenty before the end. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And I'm going to check on the kids. The other one, because I think the other one's still up. Oh man. Yeah, and what I will say, Red, is you should take nothing every day, or even 3 times a day, or even 3 times a week. Nothing. You should take nothing that often, except for maybe a multivitamin, unless your doctor says so. So I've been taking. It's hard to tell. One of these is bigger. So I've been taking one bigger ibuprofen, which I believe is 800 milligram, and then 2 Tylenol 3 times a day. And it's going to be for at least another 4 weeks. I will say exercising, which is just resistance band moving around. I think it's helped a lot, which I'm shocked with. Okay, so let me stop and think. You gotta think about what you're trying to do to me. Bum, 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 bum. Not save. Launch this up real quick and see how many files we got. So, okay, good. It isn't backwards. I remember when I used to try to stream on YouTube and my text was backwards. It pissed me off. Oh man, I'm doing so much better, Red. So much better. And I admitted to the doctor. I said, "Look, some days I just cry. At least once or twice a week. I just have to let down my mental guard from pain. Will just run out of energy, and I'll just stop, and I'll just let all the pain happen, and then I'll just cry for like an hour because it just hurts." Come to find out, everything I was doing was making it hurt more. I was using heat pads. I was using immobilization, keeping myself in a sling and stuff. And everything, he said, everything you did made it worse. Not some of the things, everything you did made it worse. Oh, thanks, Doc. What am I supposed to say? Okay, so let's go like this. This should work, I believe. I say presentation mode, your entire screen, allow. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. So now we start the actual editing process. Go this. And I'm sure there is a socks command line thing where I could batch this up and literally just click a button. I just haven't figured it out yet. Change it from wave to change the folder to incoming, and then say bang, bang, bang. Yeah, short shows are so easy to edit. 110. Tyson compression. 0.18. No, it's negative 18. What am I saying? Negative 18. There you go. Very quick. Usually that would take a while. Very quick. Would usually take a while. Just because of how easy this editing is, I'm literally tempted to do more short form shows. Negative 18. File edit. Export. Enter, enter. Hey man, this Chromium will not stop crashing. It's a soft crash, but a crash nonetheless. Because everything else in that Raspberry Pi distribution runs so fast. Go big or go home is right, man. Yeah, so more than likely, Red, I do not need surgery. And even if I do need surgery, the doctor made it very clear it would be as little invasive as possible. And when I did my own research, what it is and there's a word for it, I can't remember. It's basically sound therapy where they take a set of guns from different angles, point them at a spot. They use basically sound waves to destroy the calcium deposits. They shatter, and then they give you a small incision, go in and pull all the pieces out that they can. Which from everything I read is the least, in air quotes, pain way to go. The bad thing is what's wrong with my neck and what's wrong with my shoulders have completely opposite treatments. My neck treatment is rest. My shoulder treatment is exercise. And when I saw that, I said to him, he said, so something's going to hurt. He said, but the neck, he said, I guarantee you the neck, you're in the very early stages of it. And then I told him how I hurt my neck. He said, well, then you've been in the early stages of it for 30 years. I don't know if that makes you feel any better, Doc. When I first did this show, I think it was like 7 episodes at a time. And it was fine. I figured I can go a little bit more than 7 and not have it be burdensome, is the way I'll put it. Because typically I would hit to do the compressor or hit to do the export and basically might as well do something else while it's working. I'm shocked it still sees me somehow. That's not confusing at all. Visor, you're stupid. Time's running out. We're Dad. We're and the reason I have to get something else to working isn't that I don't want to pay for Visor. It's the fact that that they want me to pay money monthly subscription. I'm not paying monthly subscription. Give me a second. Export. Well, yeah, calcium deposits. So I now officially have calcium deposits on both ankles, I believe both knees, if I remember right, and one hip, and now both shoulders. Yay! So yeah, calcium. Now my youngest son doesn't touch milk. Doctor said he should not be drinking milk because he has enough weight on him already, and milk fat is the easiest way, she said, to gain weight. My oldest drinks about a gallon a week, which I don't think is too bad. And he's not large at all. Okay, file export. Okay, so that's good. Now, over here, PR, add files, 109, 120. So yeah, that was more episodes than I thought. Just drag and drop. Who cares about the gap? Doesn't matter. I have ways of dealing with that. Yeah. I want to overwrite the wave. Typically, this would take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. First time in a session, it always seems to take a couple seconds longer than I would like it to, but it's still faster. So we already published 108. Our first one was 109. So open it up. It has those huge gaps in it, which is fine. Truncate silence. Magic. Ba-dang. File export. First beginning of the session. We have to change it to that and change it to that. Don't have to change that again. Close. Do not save. Delete that. Now do the final conversion, which again should be an easy way to automate this. I just haven't done it yet. 109. And this again would take at least a couple minutes. But because the files are so small, it's so quick and easy. Delete. Okay. 110. Drag, drop. Export. Now this should take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, even though it's a longer one. One guy at work has been off since a week ago, Wednesday, Thursday. File export. Right? No, I just did the track export, right? Let me see. Yeah, it did. Big gaps. Truncate silence. Enter. Export. The morning guy at work has been off since a week ago, last Wednesday. They sent help Thursday, and so far that's it. I'm real tired last days. I would just say it like this. You can only work 8 hours. There's only so much you can do in 8 hours. Don't overwork yourself. Period. It's a job. It's a job. It isn't like, and it's not a job where you have to worry about great harm coming to people if you don't do your job right. It's good to want to do a good job. It's good to try to do a good job, but don't hurt yourself. Not worth it at all. 110. That's why, without sounding dumb, I really do feel lucky that I can work from home. I said to my boss and my boss's boss, my boss's boss's boss, if it's up to me, I'm never coming back into the office. For all you guys know, I'm going to bleach my skin, dye my hair, grow extra organs, and you won't even recognize me. That's the way I feel. I don't want to go back. Yeah, given the chance, I don't want to ever go back. Don't need to, because I swear I'm getting more work done here. Because quite literally, the bathroom's 10 times closer. My food, my lunch is 10 times closer. Most of my computers run faster than anything they have. I don't have people randomly stopping by my desk. Hey, Steve, have you ever heard of yeah, it doesn't drive me crazy. Oh wait, it does. Okay, get rid of that, come back, delete, enter, T, enter. Okay, here we go. We're rolling now. We're rolling in bacon. I don't know, something. Why hasn't Google updated? It looks like my stuff stopped updating on the live stream. Okay, so make it like this. Oh, it says I'm presenting, but I'm clearly not. So let's say stop presenting. Present now. your entire screen like before. I've already said it. And yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. Now we go back. Okay. File export. Bang. Bang. Oh, delete. I already had it. What am I doing? 112. Love how quick this stuff is. How well, the only good thing about the mainframe, I'll say, Red, is since 1984 or 86, I can't remember when it was, when they did a massive upgrade to the mainframe, to which I just did something really stupid. We had 0 seconds of unplanned downtime or outages, and no other government institution that I work for that's similar in other states has ever reported such little downtime. Because we had our mainframe, we spent maybe more on ours than anybody else, but we had it properly governed, is the word I learned, to where no one task. Actually, we could have 300 tasks running at the same time in an infinite loop, and it still wouldn't take the mainframe down. We had it so well governed. It's halfway gone now. We'll see if it actually goes away or not, but right now it's only halfway gone. And I'm going to see if I mess this up. So I think I might have messed this up. Let's see. I did. So now I'm going to do this. We're going to get rid of this, get rid of this. I'm going to have to redo 11. I think I messed up 11, which is okay. It could be worse. So we're going to add 11 back in. Dang it. 11. Which I've done this more than a couple times where I publish it and then I find out I like republish the same one twice. Not good. Yeah, I will say ever since the cortisone shot in my shoulder, my neck cracks more, which it basically stopped cracking when it started hurting really bad. It now cracks again. And when my shoulders pop, snap, and crackle, there's like literally 0 pain. But I'm very apprehensive every time they snap, pop, or crack. I'm like, huh, huh, and then hey, no, that didn't hurt. I'm always shocked that didn't hurt. So now we're gonna do 111 over again. Okay. Like when I catch things before they go to production, and in which I will say, yes, I know I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I am definitely shocked at the number of podcasts that do not properly dog food their podcast. And when I email them and tell them that there's a mistake in their podcast, they're like, "What? Yeah, don't you listen to it? There's a mistake." Like sometimes people literally have ending, outro music halfway through the podcast, and then at the end of the podcast, they might have an hour's worth of silence, and they have no idea. When editing, most of the time I'll say it like this: if you look at the physical audio waveform, a lot of errors are obvious, like this. You know, it did it again. It stopped displaying my audio. Why would it do that? Okay, it shows that, but that's not the right VM image. Huh. That is weird. Don't know why it's doing that. Someone's going to say stop presenting. It doesn't want to work right anyway. Okay. Huh. Something to do with the VM, I'm going to guess. Or it would just stop updating. Okay, exports. Now we got to remember we're now at 12, not 11. Let's try this again. First get rid of the old, then come here and say Q. Love how fast some of this stuff is. I did comment to I comment the guy who basically gave me this i7 laptop because I never had an i7 laptop before. I said, when you gave me this laptop, editing a podcast felt like a totally new experience. Now that I'm doing these short podcasts, again, it feels like another generational leap in speed. Because before it would literally take me 15 minutes to edit a podcast. Now it takes me like 8 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes if they're really long. And with these, I'm editing completely post-production of podcast in like 3 minutes maybe. Especially when I don't mess up. It kind of helps when I don't mess up. It's gonna be 113. I'm mistaken. 113. Yep. Okay. Get rid of the old 13. Yep. And I'm really shocked that you guys go out of your way to like these videos sometimes, because I hate when people won't shut up. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you want more content like this, you got to click that bell and subscribe. And who doesn't know that? Yeah, that's like the really annoying person saying, when you drink water, don't forget to swallow. You don't want it to go down the wrong hole. You might drown. Like, how stupid do you have to be? Don't forget, when you walk, it goes right, then left, then right again. Don't forget. Yeah. And what I really hate is on YouTube, when someone wants to show you something they did, and then there's like 18 minutes of explanation before they get to what they did. It's like, look, I know you want more listeners with more longer total hours, but this is getting out of hand. Why don't you just focus on making better content? Because that usually does the trick. It's like the old saying, cream rising to the top. I think sayings like that exist for a reason. Not just because they sound cool. 14, 115. T, export track. No, that was not it. T. Crikey. I know. Should not have done that. T, export track. Yes. Now I got to go back and clean that up. I just did. Yep, right there. Bang, 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 bang. Delete. Okay. Exporting. That doesn't look right. So I'm going to do this again. 115. And have you guys ever heard of the minute by minute type genre podcast? I don't know what to call it. It basically, like, the first one I heard of was Goodfellas. Someone was a super fan of the movie Goodfellas, so they literally hit play, watched the first minute of Goodfellas, paused, and then sat with other people and just talked about that first minute of the movie Goodfellas. And sometimes it would be an hour-long conversation. And then next week, they would watch minute 101 to minute 2, hit stop, and then just sit there and just talk about that minute of the podcast, or of the movie. I found that to be honest, kind of fascinating style. I don't know what to call it. And then I started watching UHF the other day from Weird Al, and I kept thinking I could see doing a minute by minute podcast of UHF. I want to say it's 2 hours long, so it would literally be 120 episodes. Oh, minus the credits. So I don't know. It just sounded interesting to me, is what I'll say. 116 track export. All right. Oh, try to do that when I first start listening, so I don't forget. No change, maybe once I watch something. Thumbs down. Well, yeah, that was one of the things that, man, was it Matt Pack? It was somebody. Um, I can't remember who it was. Somebody proved that if you thumbs down or thumbs up a video, literally means nothing. They both mean the exact same thing, engagement. And that's all YouTube cares about is engagement. It's just like on Facebook, negative stuff rates higher than positive stuff. If you thumbs down a video, it actually drives more people to watch or listen to it, which is kind of crazy. But, that's the way the internet is. So, yeah, I go out of my way to not thumbs down anything. I will remove it from my history. I believe that has a bigger impact than doing anything. And with some of the groups I'm in, I remove sometimes a lot of stuff from my YouTube history. 'Cause I click a link and then like 3 seconds into, I'm like, what am I watching? Oh, yeah. So for a while, I had no default set for YouTube links on my phone. And then what I would do is I would launch it in Firefox Focus where I'm not logged in. So it wouldn't count as me watching the video. But when you do that, there's no speed up option. There's a lot of options are taken away from you. So I basically stopped doing that. If I like the video, I don't want to then exit and relaunch and then kick it up to 2x. I even installed a Plex plugin, so when I watch things on Plex, I can speed up to 2x, and I have a Netflix plugin, so when I watch a Netflix movie, I can go up to 2x. Because just 1x just takes too damn long. I ain't got that much time. To quote the meme, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't. So I'm almost halfway done the post production process because after just doing the editing and arrangement, I think is the right words, then I have to create the postings, the WordPress postings, which isn't a lot of work. It's just a lot of copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Because I find the more I copy and paste, the less errors I actually make. 18. I want to drop off here in a little bit. Delete. Up to 19. Bang. Yeah, and that's the thing. I I've only had a couple people, literally like 3 people, ping me saying you suggested this podcast. I listened to it. It was horrible. Or you listened to this podcast and it was excellent. I'll say the one that I think is still, I think, one of the best I've ever listened to, just because of its eye-openingness is what I call it, is the Pessimist Archive. Like they went through the natural ice people, where the people swore when machine-made ice would poison you. And the ice that we cut out of lakes up north is much more healthy, and this is what you should be using, not that machine-made ice. Out that stuff will kill you, is what they said. Um, that and the margarine people, who swore, I mean, the butter people who swore margarine's going to kill you. I thought they were both very interesting episodes, including and not limiting to the Anti-Mask League from 1918. Group of people that swore if you wear a mask, it's going to kill you. If you wear a mask, you're going to die, kind of thing. And basically saying it's all a government conspiracy. Hey, all this should sound familiar. Um, that's why I like this show. It proves that we're all flawed. Nothing is new. We've all been through this before. People have doubted and been conspiracy theorists since time began. I love when people think there's more conspiracy theorists now than ever. Pessimist Archive went through a study where it was from 1890 to 2010, I want to say. They looked at every piece of mail that came in to this newspaper. I can't remember what it was. New York Post, New York Times, New York, whatever. And they evaluated each letter. Is this letter pushing a conspiracy theory, or is it like genuine feedback? And then they look at the average number of communications. Was it email? I can't remember what it was. But they basically compared two mediums of communication, and they had the exact same percentage of people claiming conspiracy theories. So the only difference is today there's a platform to where anybody can have access to it. Where before you would have to send an email in, or a physical mail in to someplace, and then they would have to publish it for anyone to even know it even existed. And most publications went out of their way to not publish that kind of thing. Okay, 109 through 120 is finished the first step of post-production. Done. I'm going to delete them from here. I'm going to leave the other ones there. I'm going to come over here, save my template. I love templates. Templates speed everything up. Okay, now I'm going to exit this. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, don't get me wrong. There's massive differences between butter and margarine, worldly, but I think they're equally unhealthy if you use them in excess. That's at least my belief. You know what I mean? But like cooking a steak in butter versus cooking a steak with margarine, completely different. Completely different. Butter 10 times all the way. Oh man. Oh yeah. There some of the best stuff that's ever existed exist on YouTube. Unfortunately, some of the worst things that ever existed exist on YouTube. All right, guys, I want to hop off of here, finish the production. I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah, need that. Oh, yeah, I need that too. Okay. All right, guys, take it easy.